Well, hello everyone. I am Brian. You are Chords and Notes Nation. These are my two unnamed trolls, these guys here, and then I have unnamed wolves and dragons back here too. And the reason I bring up the fact that all of them are unnamed is eventually on Patreon I may open up a certain tier where the bonus is you get to name one of them. But alas, I need more patrons. www.patreon.com/chords and notes, and don't forget the C and the N are capitalized, because that's the way I roll. This is a new Tool song from their much anticipated album, Fear Inoculum. I shouldn't say this is the new song. This is the reaction to the new song. Fear Inoculum, title track from Fear Inoculum. And I am using the new format on this. That means no music will be played in this video. I've already listened to the song, and now I'm going to give my reaction. And the reason I do this is because over the last couple of weeks, YouTube has taken down at least a half a dozen of my Tool reactions, which I am not happy about. The work is mine, the song is not. Anyways, so, for those of you who are familiar with this channel and with the way that I see things musically, you'll understand that, especially with a band like Tool, or any bands that are of a high talent caliber and put as much into their music creatively, pardon this there, when you listen to their songs, it's almost as if you have to listen to it multiple times in order to get a true understanding of what's going on. And oftentimes, each listen will add to that initial impression. It may change that initial impression, or it may bring about another impression altogether. So, I was debating, should I listen to this song multiple times and then give you my thoughts on it, but I think it's also important that that first time that you absorb a song, that initial reaction is so very important. And I just saw something weird go on with my camera, so if now all of a sudden there's some sort of lag between the audio and the visual, I apologize. Again, I need to upgrade my equipment, and again, Patreon is the way that I would like to do that, to create much better quality videos for you, my audience. So please feel free, visit Patreon and become a patron. Anyways, boom, back to Fear Inoculum. Musically, it is as I would always expect from Tool. A musical smorgasbord. So important. The music is the vehicle on which the lyrics travel. And if the vehicle is kind of putting along, the message in the lyrics kind of just isn't gonna hit the mark. And that's never the case with Tool. It's just the level of musicianship. When these people get together and put their mind to it, they really have captured a sound that now has transcended, what was it, 13 years that they haven't been, that they didn't make an album, and yet it still has that classic Tool sound. everything that I've come to expect. The bass being a prominent player. You know, you listen to that intro, um, and you're waiting. Where's that bass? Where's that bass? And then here it comes. And the tone is right there. It's the same. He hasn't changed it. You know, I was thinking, Tool. It's really hard, really difficult to label them, which is a good thing. But they certainly do come from the progressive mindset of music creation. When I think of the major players of progressive music, you know, you think about Rush, Yes, Tull, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, so on and so forth, Genesis. Their sounds over the deck changed, or had changed, to sort of fit whatever was sort of the mainstream rock sound that was going on. But a lot of that was because there was new technology being introduced. It's not new to us today. But back then they wanted to play around with that sound and that sort of thing. So that's a little bit different as far as the causality of the change in sound. Here with Tool, they have the same approach in so much as the length of their compositions, the dynamics within the compositions, the textures within the compositions. And when I mean the compositions, to each individual song. But their sound has never changed. It has that signature Tool sound to it. And so it was really nice to hear that. It was really refreshing to hear Maynard's voice sound as young as it ever has. Age happens, and the male, from what I understand, the male vocal cords tend to mature mid-40s into 50, right around that age. But his control of his voice and the tonality and the sound of it was just right spot on as it's always been. And so it's almost as if they picked up where they left off and there was no span of time in between that changed their musical thought process individually and then coming together as a group. They didn't say, hey, you know, let's try this or let's try that. You know, I think Tool can try anything that they want to try and still make it sound like Tool. And then the lyrics. Now, the lyrics were very interesting as I was listening to it, and I pulled them up here because I really want to look at them. And it, you know, to me, it's about a certain part of a spiritual growth. And the main meat of the song, where he's talking about the deceiver. Okay, he says, you belong to me. You don't want to breathe the light of the others. Fear the light. Fear the breath. Fear the others for eternity. So for me, coming from a Christian mindset, a biblical mindset, the deceiver is Satan. And this certainly falls in line with what has been written about the deceiver. And going back to what I've been learning about Tool, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I've spent some time on this. Maynard's mother was very religious. She was a very, very devout Christian woman. And I imagine that those seeds have been planted in him and are growing. And so what I'm hearing here and what I'm seeing here is this moment when, you know, I look at the lyrics, contagion, I exhale you, contagion. Who is contagion? Contagion is the deceiver. Expel. All of these words that are talking about getting rid of the lies, getting rid of the deceiver, getting rid of all of these influences, negative influences, change, growing through delusion from mania. And there are those times where growth, when you go through a growth cycle, it gets really confusing, and you can almost feel. There are times where you think, well, what's going on here? Am I going nuts? Am I deluded? That sort of thing? And I think we all experience that. Those of us who are truly looking for growth. And this was really intriguing. It really, really was. I'm gonna dive back into this again and really immerse myself in the song because it had so many great elements to it. It's just so much to digest. They never make a simple song. There's so much to get into and to focus on, and then rehash and it's the stuff I love, folks. This is what I love. This is the kind of music I love. And if you want more of these songs, Patreon, do it. You want to. It was really refreshing. I loved hearing this song. Really did. Can't wait to hear more. Be well, stay well, be kind to others. I will talk to you in the near future. Bye, folks.